So we'll do Taittriya Upanishad. We were on chapter 1, Shikshavalli, section 1 or Anuvak 1. We were reading it. And my old book, I was on page 14, but I think it's different. Anybody has a marked? I think Neeluji usually marks it. If you can tell everybody where it is. Paragraph begins with to lift our eyes from the import.
Page 15 in the new book.
Okay, 15. All right, so I'm going to do the prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. So we are going to, every time we are going to say the Shanti part of this particular Upanishad, because that's how they did it. And we are in the middle of it, but we will, and now I'll have to chant it by myself, but everybody can chant it in their own home. Om Shanno Mitraha Shamvarunaha Shanno Bhavatvayarma Shanno Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Vritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmavavatu Tatvaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we already read parts of it just to remind ourselves that they are talking about, they are praying to this, all these different phenomena that are connected with our body and you know, all the different elements and all that. And it said that हमारा कल्याण करे ये सारे जितने भी forces हैं. Mitra was for the daytime, and Mitra was there, Varuna was there, Ayarma, Indra, Bruhaspati, all of that, and Vishnu. And we saw that how each one had some in charge of certain things, right? Varuna was in charge of the night and all that. So I don't want to go in all the details. We have the whole thing. And then so we did all that, and then it said that Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo. It was talking about doing pranams to the Vayu, because you are Pratyaksham Brahmasmi, means you are like a god only to me. And then we talked about that why, that you know, Pranavayu is because that's how we are alive and all that. So I think we can continue. Yeah. Reading. Any volunteers to read? Okay, Prabhakarji.
To lift our eyes from the import and secret implications of this invocation to the society around and about us, crawling in disease and rotting in untimely deaths, is to understand how far we have ignored the spirit of our culture and have come to suffer. All that we can now claim of our great heritage is but a vain effort to give a gloss of philosophical neglect to our ignoble ignorance. Vedanta does not dole out any excuse for the society to ignore their health. Physical health is of consummate importance, and it is so perfectly evident when we lift the veil of the words and understand the true import of this invocation.
So it's just reminding us that all the negative things that happen in the society around us is because we ignore what our shastras are telling us. And also it also, because this whole prayer starts with, hey, first starts with the body, and my body be healthy. And that's why when he is praying, he's praying to Mitra, which is, for the pranas and daytime, and the Varuna for apana, and also all these are bodily functions he's talking about, and, hands and legs and all that. They have to be healthy. So it gives the utmost importance. So it's not like they only talks about God realization. No, our Shastras talk about, mind, body, spirit, everything has to be healthy. That's what he's telling in this verse, paragraph. Yeah.
So far, the invocation was dealing with the subjective individual himself and his anatomical and psychological parts. The prayer now becomes a direct call to Supreme. Our salutation to Brahman, a name uniformly used in the entire Vedika literature to address the infinite supreme truth upon whom the pluralistic phenomena with their partial expression of dynamism and energy are but an idle superimposition.
So see, whatever we have learned about the Maya now, you
Yes.
can see it is matching over here, right? So it's a salutation to the Brahman, which is a substratum, and on or top of it, there's a projection of this Maya and all that. Yes, so we are calling on to that Brahman straight.
Salutation onto the O Vayu, meaning here the expression of life in and through the infinite variety of equipments which constitute the entire bulk and girth of universe. This Vayu otherwise is called in Vedanta as the Sutratma, meaning the evident expression of life, on the basis of which the entire kingdom of the living, the plant, the animal, and the man are wound together as the different flowers are held together by the string to form a garland.
Now, does that remind you that verse from Bhagavad Gita? That how,
yes.
yeah, and that how. So the Vayu is the one that is like a sutratma. सूत्र बोलते हैं उसको, धागे को बोलते हैं. Because as we discussed that for plant kingdom or animal kingdom or humans, we all need Vayu to live on. So as though this is the expression of Bhagwan, which is connecting all of us. Yeah.
The Supreme Brahman is unmanifest, and being all-pervading is not available for our recognition either to the organs of knowledge or to the mind or to the intellect. Vayu represents the implicit expression of the infinite dynamism of the one reality as it is available for human cognition during a close observation of life, and therefore Vayu represents the manifested Brahman, that is Hiranyagarbha.
So he's telling you that, to me it is so scientific, these, when they made these prayers, there's a lot of thought that has gone behind it. When we just read it, I say, okay, they are just, why Vayu, why not other element? But then he explained to us that we can cognize Vayu. We understand it a little more easily, and then it is also something that everybody needs. So that's this expression. I am saluting to that Brahman through this, because I'm not able to connect directly to it, so I'm connecting indirectly. Same thing exactly like Maya ki through I'm connecting. Think about it. This is Apara Prakriti. But Mama Maya, it is Devi Gunamayi and all that. So he's Bhagwan's Maya only, and through Maya I'm connecting to him.
Ratam and Satyam. Ratam is a technical term which in its Vedika usage indicates the positive meaning of the Shastra when correctly understood through an intellectual appreciation of the spirit of the scriptures. Its practice in our day-to-day activities, achara, becomes the dharma and it is called satya.
So यहाँ पर लिखा है ना ऋतम वदिष्यामि सत्यम वदिष्यामि, तो एक्चुअल मीनिंग ऑफ इसका संस्कृत में अगर कोई एकदम ट्रांसलेट करे ना तो मैं सत्य ही बोलूँगा, मैं ऋतम ही बोलूँगा. ऋतम मीन्स I will do my best to understand this true import of the Shastras, and that's what I'm going to say. That's the prayer. Because we have seen the disaster it causes when you misunderstand the Shastras. And then you go and start preaching or something, like all this whole caste system that has taken the ugliest form in India. The Shastras are not saying any such thing. But because people did not do Ritam Vadishyami, that's what happened. They did not understand the correct import of it. And Satyam Vadishyami is the same thing, that hey, they're praying to this higher self, that hey, give me this, मेरा कल्याण ऐसे करो कि मैं सत्य ही बोलूं और मैं वही बोलूंगा और मैं रितम ही बोलूंगा. And then Swamiji explained that ritam is a proper understanding of the Shastra, and when I take that proper understanding and I let it flow through my actions, then it becomes dharma and it becomes satyam. Yeah.
May that, meaning the Supreme, the essence of all such as the Vayu, bless me so that my studies are fruitful. This is sung by a Vidyarthi, meaning one who demands Arthi, the blessing of Brahma Vidya. The student prays to the Supreme that his teacher also be blessed so that no obstacles may come during the sacred transaction of the sacred study. The repetition is only for the emphasis.
Because यहाँ पर 2 बार repeat किया उसने बोला कि तन्माम अवतु तद वक्तारम अवतु माम अवतु वक्तारम. So, it's so important. I'm saying that he's praying for the teacher also, because the teacher may not know how to express also, right? So he's praying to that highest Bhagwan that, hey, give him also some tips how to say it. Maybe there are several ways you can. And then मेरे में communication अच्छा हो, वो ठीक से बोले, मैं ठीक से समझूं, दोनों में problem ना हो, arguments ना हो. There are so many things you can think about when they are praying for both of them. Yeah.
The invocation is rounded up with a thrice repeated call for peace. This is to avert all possible obstacles. Obstacles are many, and to exhaust all possibilities by name or label is impossible. But all obstacles can be classified under 3 heads with reference to the sources from which they arise. Thus, the sources of obstacles can be unseen, seen and known, subjective within ourselves in our own mind. In order to avert all obstacles arising from the above 3 types of causes, we have the thrice repeated peace call.
So that I had discussed it last time also, and every mantra ends with Shanti, 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 right? So it's telling you that obstacle तो कितने variety से आते हैं. Your obstacle जो आपके जिंदगी में आएंगे वो मेरे में नहीं होंगे, सब अलग अलग है, right? कुछ भी करने जाओ तो नए रूप से आते हैं obstacle भी. Because Maya is like we talked about it, so many different ways it can function. So it's just broad category में डाल दिया उसको. So they call it Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik. That's why unseen forces of nature that I have no control over and I don't know. Unseen, I don't know. कहीं से तूफान आ जाता है, कुछ हो जाता है, that's unseen. Seen and known, I know my neighbor's dog is a very keeps barking, and I hope that when I'm studying, he doesn't bark. Some other noise and this and that, all those called seen ones. लोग डिस्टर्ब ना करें मुझे, फ़ोन कॉल नहीं आए वो टाइम पे, टेक्स्ट मैसेज नहीं आए. सब्जेक्टिव इज सब कुछ ठीक हो लेकिन अंदर से कुछ विचार आने लग जाए मेरे में, वो भी सब शांति रहे. So that's from subjective insight. So those are the 3 peace in shanti, shanti, shanti. So that's what it is. Let's see. Yeah, there is 10 minutes because the next one is not that difficult. So I'll just go through it. Section 2, Anuvak 2, is say Varna Swarnadi Shikshanam. Om Shiksham Vyakhyasyaamaha Varnah Swaraha Matra Balam Sam Santanaha Ityuktah Shiksha Dhyayaha. Oh, I forgot to ask, does anybody have any question from the previous one, the Shanti part? Comment or question, or anybody wants to add anything? Okay, so this particular one, Om, everybody knows now. In this class, whoever done that Mandukya can give a whole lecture on Om. So that's Om. Shiksham. Yeah, Shiksham ka very specific meaning hai, the science of pronunciation. They're talking about a specific thing over here. Vyakhyasyaamaha, we shall explain. Varnaha is sound. Swara is accent or pitch, how I speak. Matra is a measure कि उसको कितना लंबा और कितना कम, something like that. Balam, कितना force मैं डालती हूँ उसमें, the effort employed in articulation. Sama is uniformity. Santana over here means continuity in the pronouncing the letters. These are all Sanskrit ka hai, ye grammar ka sara. Iti is thus, Ukta has been explained. Shiksha Dhyaya, the chapter on pronunciation. So what, like I had mentioned over here, that tremendous importance was given in those days of the science of phonetics, pronouncing and its rules and all that. And we all know that Sanskrit language is such, pronunciation is they are very strict rules. तभी अपना जब वो वर्णमाला भी होती है ना, ये हमारे बच्चे जो यहाँ पैदा हुए हैं उनको बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है हिंदी सिखाओ तो, वो त थ द ध न में तो उनको सब एक जैसा ही लगता है. But I tell you, if like in Chinmaya Mission they do it, people who learn Sanskrit, there are kids who do, their pronunciation is so good. I'm so proud of them. They can, once you teach them, they know difference between ta, tha, da, dha, na and all that, sare ke sare, So because Sanskrit mein it is very, very important because uska meaning hi badal jayega pura sa if you don't do all that. And then we know that in our, because we are all Hindi speaking and Marathi, Hindi and all, they are similar. It's Sanskrit se aaya sara, right? Devanagari language. You write exactly how you speak. But English language में ऐसा नहीं है. I don't know if you guys have thought over it. हम लोग का वो जैसे लिखा वैसे ही pronounce किया जाता है. उधर सारा उल्टा, exceptions नहीं है कोई हमारे में, लेकिन वहाँ पर है. So that's why they were so strict. And then I've also heard this, and I don't know if you have heard it, that Sanskrit is most conducive to the computer language because it is so scientific and it can be just matched very nicely with the computer. So, and it has kind of stood the test of thousands of years. The way they used to pronounce, that's how we pronounce even now. The Sanskrit language I'm talking about, okay? So that's why the science of pronunciation was insisted upon over here. And when we read it, then, Swamiji gave a little glimpse of it, of different things. हम लोग को इतना important नहीं है, but it just थोड़ा idea हो जाएगा कि क्या वो लोग क्या करना पड़ता था उनको. So then the way they have just mentioned it under subheadings over here. And it is implying that the students who are coming to study this Upanishad, they are already mastered in it. चलो हम लोग भी mastered नहीं है, हम लोग फिर भी कोशिश करेंगे. And then it's possible that at that time they gave another discourse on it, but यहाँ पर खाली subheadings में mention किया हुआ है. So that's what it is. So we can read it next time. Okay. But any question, comment, Anything on Taittriya Upanishad, whatever we have done so far or we are going to do? And then I think that Joe had posted that आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के थ्रू जो तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद का आया उसमें सब कुछ सही था, खाली वो वल्ली को ऑपोजिट कर दिया था उन्होंने बिकॉज उल्टा कर दिया था. दे सेड दैट ब्रह्मानंद वल्ली इज फर्स्ट और समथिंग, बट शिक्षा वल्ली इज फर्स्ट. Some little difference was there. It's not a big deal.
There are a lot of errors in that too. So
we have to be careful, but I think it did a pretty good job. I was impressed. But it's also very scary technology because somebody posted it that they can mimic your voice now. So can you imagine that how these bad guys are going to be? It's like a nuclear power, bad guys can do to destroy the world. And so
Kissinger, who is 99-year-old, he has a very negative article on it. That is going to start World War III, it's going to scare a lot of people, change the reality and everything.
And then my son was showing me the picture that this artificial intelligence created Elon Musk picture, and it looks exactly like that. So, I was just thinking that in the future, somebody could, like video chat vagara mein, they can pretend to be your somebody family member.
See, when you get a bad phone call and you say hello, they get your voice. And now they can convert it.
Yeah, see, so it's another level of Maya, actually, if you think about it. Yeah, it is exactly another level of Maya. And you know what? In olden days, I was thinking about it. If you see these Puranic stories, sometimes they used to show, एक मेरे को याद है देवों के देव महादेव में दिखाया था कि एक बार ना this bad guy, he came as Shiva, right? And he came in front of Parvati, and Parvati got deluded. Maya herself got deluded. And then she was like, and the real Shiva came from their side. And the real Shiva said, I'm your husband. He's saying, no, I'm your husband. And she's like, I don't know who is my husband. I was thinking of this after my son showed me the picture, and then somebody posted that they can do the voice. I said, that's what is the future. There is a story in Ramayana also that what Ravan did to Sita ko darane ke liye na, he said ki, I have killed your husband. So what do you mean? And then he brought a head of Ramchandraji on a plate, and he said, look, there is his head, and it was a false. But because she was too smart, so she told him, Bhag ja tu, my Ram is not going to, you cannot do this. He tried to do that because of probably similar technology. That whatever we saw in those Puranas coming true. Scary, really. Any comment? No comment, I guess. Okay.
I also did the holy thing on ChatGPT. I sent everybody.
What is holy and holika and all that? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So my son told me, Mom, it can write poems also. So I said, okay, let's test it. So we told him, but that time we were looking at that Jupiter, and I said, okay, he has some kind of the same program. There is some Bing करके कोई app है,
Bing is the Microsoft search engine.
Right, but that it's using this GPT.
They are more advanced than the Chat GPT because they have hired them as their base. So I went through both. But Chat GPT is very easy to comprehend and send out. The other one, they have so many articles on that and everything, they give you references.
Yeah, so so we just said, okay, he said something bizarre. We said, well, let's ask this Bing, if I can do that. He said, write a poem on the conjunction of this planet. इतनी अच्छी poem बना के दे दी, And I'm like, wow. I said, सारे poets तो उनका क्या होगा फिर? अभी ये एक second में poetry बना दी, And
this guy was telling he had to go somewhere, so he interactively asked them, I want to go to Australia and, what I want to do and all that. And they'll keep answering him, everything. So
it's taking to another level. It's just, I think that our mind जो है ना और delude होने वाला है अभी देखना, because we won't use it. We won't use it.
60 Minutes, they had a guy from ChatGPT and they talked about it. So what they have done is, when you ask a question, they go through everything on the internet that exists. And then they convert that question into that information and then they convert it back into the answer.
But it happens so fast.
Yeah. That's
matter of seconds. Seconds.
And they are answering question about India, about anywhere, So anything, if it is on the internet, then they can get it and they can answer you.
Actually, some college professors were complaining that their students can cheat so easily.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I asked my daughter and she said, no, you need references and all that. But now Bing is even giving references.
Yeah.
So it's like even more advanced.
I know, it's like बोलते हैं ना कि ना चोर कोतवाल का गेम खेला जा रहा है यहाँ पे, that how to catch this.
Right.
All those things that we were listening and doing in those sci-fi movies में होता था ना, वो सब अभी reality बनता जा रहा है. Faster than we can handle it, actually. Faster than we can handle it. Okay, I'm going to close this our Upanishad over here. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. So one thing I wanted to just say that last time, I think when we had the class in person, Pratibha ji had asked one question. She said that there was a debate with Mandan Mishra and Shankaracharya ji. Will that be considered Upanishad? Because we were saying that how Upanishads are like, conversation between two people. And so when I came home, I was thinking about it and I said, no, technically we cannot call that a Upanishad. And my reasoning was that Upanishad was always like there was a guru and the Shishya is approaching the guru and the guru is like self-realized master. And then a Shishya is going in humility and asking him, hey, can you please tell me answer to this question? He has a lot of questions, but he's not going there to challenge his guru. He's going there to learn and he has a genuine curiosity to because he knows that he's somewhere he's not getting there. Whereas the debate that happened, that was, hey, who's going to win here? Both of them were very competitive at that time, And those debates also have a place in, of course, because sometimes when you do a debate in a proper, with proper spirit, a lot of different things come out. That you see the other person's point of view and also a lot of good things can come out of debate also. But I think that particular incident in the history cannot be considered Upanishad because of this reason. So that's what I was going to say. I just wanted to bring that up. But any other point? Any question? Maya Devi, and or comment?
We have to assimilate and digest Umaji.
I know, that's for sure.
What you had nicely put it in this class, a little bit more contemplation has to come before we have some, what I should say, genuine questions to be asked.
Right. I think that Nikhilanandji gave, usually he spends like a particular amount of time. This one, he gave very long one. So I try to bring in, even I got tired. There were a few points I didn't even say because I got tired of talking about it. But it was Sarvapriyanandji who put it in a very humorous way, saying, Brahman is a very simple fellow. You can define much more easier. Maya, another matter. So that's what it is. It's most complicated.
Brahman never changes.
Exactly.
And Maya is constantly changing.
Right. So it is like, hey, how these two opposite can be together? Sometimes in the couples we say, no, how these opposite people are together, then the psychologists, what they say? You always get attracted to the what you don't have. You don't think about it that way. If you have somebody just like you, you'll find that person totally boring. You wouldn't want to be, and they don't complement each other either. समझो एक एकदम बड़ा शांत आदमी है, उसकी बीवी भी एकदम वैसी हो जाएगी तो वो लोग कुछ कर ही नहीं पाएंगे.
Very boring.
Yeah, so they say that we always get attracted to the opposite, and then rest of the life we're trying to change them. So the best thing is not to change your partner, because that's how it is, right? एक messy होएगा तो दूसरा wants everything perfect. So that's what it is. But then you have to kind of somehow learn from each other and come in the middle. That's
about
what
the Maya. While we understand the Maya, and we know that it is not real, and we say neti, neti, neti. But the point is that again Maya comes back. So
right.
neti, 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 we'll say, and then it is not permanent. Say that it is not long-lasting. And neti, 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 I will say, and then after some time, I'm in the Maya again.
True.
So I think that is what is a Maya.
It's very hard. It's a difficult to cross, but then he immediately said that if you surrender to me, so I think we have to learn what exactly it means by surrender, and that's exactly why that Nikhilanandaji was giving a very long lecture on what surrender is.
Okay.
And but we definitely have to, first everybody has to assess where we are. If we have too much tamogun and rajogun, then we have to do more karma yoga type of practice. And then once our mind gets a little purified, then you do the meditation. And in meditation, you have to surrender to the higher. So he gave the path. It's there. We can't, if somebody is very tamasic and rajasic, I'm going to sit in meditation because I want to cross over Maya. It's not going to happen. Then you will get जाल में फंस जाओगे तुम. So I think that is what